Hello everyone, so welcome back to our second session of our learning today, right? So as you know already, every Tuesday for second session, we are going to study our book is Hangout 2. So teacher, hope that you have this book right now on your table. So now, let's move to the next one with teacher. Okay, so today we will continue our Unit 9 that we talk about our field trip. So teacher want you to open your book right now on page 109. So today teacher have new lesson for you regarding with our grammar that we talk about do and does, right? So as you know already, that do and does is the new lesson for you today. So now let me explain to you the way that you need to use do or does. Okay, so now let's move to the next one with teacher. Okay, so do and does is the difference between do and does is very basic. Do is a verb and does is the third person singular present tense, right? So now let me explain you first. So do, when the subject is represented by the pronouns I, you, we, they, we must use do. So you need to remember that I, you, we, they, we need to use with do, right? Okay, so now let's move to does. Does, when the subject is represented by the pronouns he, she, it, we must use does. So you need to remember that if the subject that he, she, it, we need to use with does. But if the subject is I, you, we, they, we need to use with do, right? Okay, so now let's move to the next one. Okay, so this one is the way that I want you to clear more, that you need to use with do or you need to use with does, right? Okay, so the first one you saw it already, right? So do, we have I, you, we, or they, right? And does, we have he, she, or it. So you need to remember all of that one and don't confuse, okay? So now let's move to the next one. Okay, so this one is the form that you need to use in positive form, negative form, and question form, right? So the first one we talk about positive form that you can use I do, you do, he does, she does, it does, we do, you do, or they do. So the second one is in negative form that you can write in two ways. Okay, one is that you can write in two way in negative form. One is full form in here, and this one is we call it short form. Okay, so you can write like this: I do not or I don't, you do not, you don't, he does not, he doesn't, she does not, she doesn't, it does not, it doesn't, we do not, we don't, you do not, you don't, they do not, they don't. So in negative form, you can write in two ways that I told you at the moment. One is full form and one is short form. And regarding with this one, we call it question form, that when you use with do or does, you need to put it in front after the subject, right? Okay, so look like this one. Do I, do you, does he, does she, does it, do we, do you, do they, right? Okay, so this one is the form that we have three forms of using that regarding with do and does, that we have positive, negative, and question. So now let's move to the next one. Okay, so this one is the example that regarding with do. Example number one. I do it because I like it, right? So you can use that one because in this sentence we call it positive sentence. I do it because I like it, right? Okay, number two. Do you have any tickets for the concert? So this sentence is question, as I told you already. If you use in question sentence, you need to put do, right? Okay, so do use with you, right? So do you have any tickets for the concert? Number 3, do you mind if I smoke, right? Okay, number 4, how much do you charge for a haircut, right? Okay, so this one is the example of do that you can use in positive, negative, or question, right? Okay, so now let's move to the next one. Okay, so this one is the example of does. Okay, so now let me explain to you. Number 1, it does not look like the right way, or you can write in two way. Another one, it doesn't, right? Then you can write this one that in the short form that I explained to you at the moment, you can write like that. So you can read it doesn't look like the right way, but in this one you need to read it does not look like the right way. Number 2, she always does things the hard way. Number 3, what time does the train get to New York? Number 4, he does not know the way, right? Okay, so we have 4 sentences in here that we need to use with does, right? Okay, so now let's move to the next one. Okay, so this one teacher want you to practice with teacher that we use with do or does, right? Okay, so now let's start with teacher all together. Okay, so here is our exercise that you need to complete the sentence using do or does. So number 1, she like chocolate. Number 2, I know you. Number 3, you watch Netflix. Number 4, he have a car. Number 5, we study English. So now let's help teacher to answer this one. Okay, so number 1, we need to put do or does. Great, so we need to put does, right? Does she like chocolate? As you know already, she we need to use with does, right? Okay, so now let's move to number 2. I know you. So we need to use with do or does. Great. So we need to use with do, right? Do I know you? So now let's move to number 3. You watch Netflix. So we need to use with do or does. Okay, so now let's check the answer with teacher all together. Okay, so we need to use with do. Do you watch Netflix? So now let's move to number 4. He have a car. So the question that we need to use it is does, right? Because we use with he. As you know, all these third person singular, we need to use with does, right? Does he have a car? And number 5, we study English. So the question that we need to put is, do we study English? Okay, so I hope that you understand the way that we use with do or does, right? Okay, so now let's move to the next one. Teacher want you to practice in our page 109 that we have to exercise. The first one you need to listen, then circle, and the second one you need to read and circle. So now let me show you. So here is our page that you need to do. So we have B and C. So B you need to listen, then circle. So teacher will give you the listening track right now. So let's listen with teacher all together.
B. Listen, then circle.
What's your favorite season?
I like winter. I make a snowman in the winter.
Do you go sledding in the winter?
No, I don't. I don't like it.
What do you do in the spring?
We clean the house at the start of spring.
What do you clean?
I clean my bedroom. There's a bed, a bookcase, and desk.
Is there a dresser in your room?
No, there isn't.
What do you do in the summer?
Last summer, we were in a national park. There was a mountain and lots of trees.
Were the trees tall?
Yes, they were very tall.
Okay, so I know that you answer already, right? So right now, let's check the answer with teacher all together regarding with exercise B and exercise C. Okay, so now let's check with teacher all together. Okay, so here is our answer that B, listen, then circle. So number one, what does the girl do in the winter? So the correct answer is letter B, right? Okay, so now let's move to number two. What is in the girl bedroom? So the correct answer is letter A, right? Okay, so now let's move to number three. What was in the national park? So A or B? Good. So the correct answer is B. So now let's move to C. Read and circle. So number one, what does she do or what does she doing in the spring? Great. So what does she do in the spring, right? Okay, so number two, does he play baseball in the summer? Number three, there are three lamps in the living room. Number four, is there a stove in the kitchen? Number five, there was a high mountain. Number six, were the trees all? Okay, so here is our answer for today that we have exercise B and exercise C. So teacher hope that you correct all the same my answer also. So now it's time. So see you again tomorrow. Goodbye everyone, and don't forget to write down our lesson into your notebook today. Goodbye. See you again tomorrow.